How I feel today? In a crack? No, it's not a crack house. We don't discriminate. It's not just for crack.
It's not really an abandoned either.
Well, yes.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah. They don't need all the details. I explained how it's...
It looks bad. It sounds bad when you say
No, it doesn't. Well, I'm homeless.
Mm-hmm.
It is bad. It's not meant to sound great. It's not supposed to be like, I'm on a winning streak, y'all. I'm on a winning streak. Y'all can be like me, too. Alright, this is not my normal foundation. Don't know where that went to. I'm pissed off because I have no fucking clue where my foundation went to. And it's the only one that works on my skin type. And so now, fucking this orange won't dry. I need to get some...
What color are you?
A light color. Yeah, but it's Dermacal.
Like porcelain?
Yeah. But it's a special kind of why isn't this one open? There we go. The hell?
It feels nice today. It's hot.
I know, it's gonna be warm today?
I think it's gonna be the last wet, dry, nice day we have. For a while I was reading.
No, they know jack shit about the weather that they tell us. They probably have like the 365 day forecast to a T.
I think they make it up, don't they?
But they're like, I don't think the public's ready for accurate weather. Can you imagine? I don't know if any of you thought about just how horrible the world would be if all of a sudden they could predict weather like that. There'd be some good things, but there'd be some really bad things too. Let's say you knew exactly when like a you like oh shit, so we're gonna have a Category 5 hurricane hit the capital region. Okay, and we have a year. Shit. No. And imagine what insurance companies would do to you. Well, we're gonna cover you almost every day except for March 27th of 2032. If you accept this, we're gonna give you 80% off your insurance. Really? 80%? Yeah. Hell, we'll make it 90%. Just remember, we don't cover that day. Boom, that day. Tsunamis, earthquakes, fires. And you're like, well, what about that? Read the fine print. We don't cover anything that happened from that day on. Sorry. Yes, it is. Thank you, girl. Spamek. Yay, lightning! Woo! Thank you, girly. Am I saying right? Girly Spamek? If I'm not, I'm sorry. I'd like to learn how to say it correctly. Oh, I look like I got out in the sun, got suntanned or some shit. So, this is different. Normally I use, thank you, Randy LaBoy. LaBois? Is it LaBois or LaBoy? So first one or second one? LaBois, LaBoy. Boy, I'm guessing it's LaBoy. Well, of course I manifest things to happen. We're in a program. Not quite a hologram, but that's the closest thing we can do. Did you know statistically there's a much better chance we are in a program / like hologram than we are in our actual reality? We're in the alt version where we don't wipe ourselves out at 1947. It's just amazing that we didn't. Vegas odds was saying we'd be gone by 1950. Look at us now. And I just said, I know. I manifest things into happening. I acknowledged it. Like, which thing? And that's why I don't, when people say, oh, look at this. I think my house is possessed. Look what I caught on video. Whoa. You just brought it into your phone, and now you want to open that shit up and bring it into my home? No, thank you. Get that out. Delete that. Well, this isn't Dollar Tree, is it? No. This one is actually, Macy's. Lauren Taller or something. Allegedly, it's kind of expensive, but I like my Dermacal $20 tubes. I can't understand how that can be $100. But oh, where? I was thinking. It is. It really is. I have a lot of Dollar Tree makeup actually. This is their what's it called, primer. It would be like this one's counterpart. This one's $10. The other one's $1.50. That one is a Dollar Tree one. This is a Dollar Tree one. This is a Dollar Tree one. Yeah, I agree with you. That statement is a true statement. Yeah, I mean, charcoal is a good eyeliner, and that's pretty cheap. Certain dirts are good bronzers. I mean, if you think about like all the different types of makeups, like I can name you right where the most basic, where it started. Berries. As a kid, didn't you ever do makeup? Like, didn't you just like love going out and playing with like your other guy friends, and it would start off as you're playing Army, and then it would end up as like they were in the barber shop or something, and then you were doing full makeover on them. Like the rocks, the rocks in the creek. You would take one rock and you find all different color rocks, and you scratch it, and then you spit in it. Hey, we were kids. And then it made different colors. And so I could give them eyeshadow, and I would pick the berries, the really dark berries, and give them lipstick. And it also worked up here, but I also used like the stones up there, and then Korean. How am I? Oh, Farah, the Irish Arab. So salam. It is all Arab. Shalom. No, that's Hebrew. Salam. It's the same Farsi and Adros Arabia. El Bob. El Bob. Alaikum salam. Shukr. Okay. I don't know. Okay, I do not feel this way. How did you break your foot? I walked out and really hard walking my foot, and I slammed it right into a scooter. At first, one of my wives was teaching me Arabic, but she has some bad PTSD from the Iran-Iraq war. And she's like, I will not speak, my tongue will never say that again. She meant it. She speaks Farsi, so I can say stuff like, Salam, Chatari, Azizam, Topolo, Tustaram, Tolam, Parayemshi, Motorfukar. Any plans for tonight? Survive the night. Yes, Yes, they are. All women are so beautiful, except for the ones that are mean and nasty and rotten on the inside. Probably because some man made them that way. Looks? Huh? What's looks? Yes, mama? Yeah, that's right. I apologize if I have ever done that to anyone back in the not so great days of my reign of terror. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if this is true for Persian women. I know, like, one of the things is in, like, Vietnam, they always talk about how they never met any really poor Americans in Vietnam. And I'm like, well, you know why that is? Because if you're poor, you can't travel to Vietnam. Come on. They never they never stopped and thought about it. Like, I don't mean that, but I'm just being truthful. Like, if you can't afford the basic necessities, you're not going to be going out there. In Australia, it's not as expensive to get to Vietnam, so you saw a lot, like, as some people would say, Australia, it's the white trash trailer park of the English-speaking world. And I'd be like, well, yeah. I guess that's kind of true. Like, you sure that's fair to say? You sure it's fair? Yeah, it is. It's fair enough. Fair enough to say. How does the band picture look today versus other ones?
How are you?
Yeah. Now it is time to do some contouring. Into grand old contouring. Contouring. I do Brazilian women and Canadian women and Inuit women and Kenyan women from Chad, and women from El Salvador, and women from Japan, and women from Sri Lanka, and women from, let's see, where else is there? Iran. Do you know, I just love, and I do mean love, the women from the Aryan Nation. Now, the Aryan Nation, do you know what the real Aryan Nation is? This must piss off those, like, assholes that try and use that name. Because I hate, skinheads and nasty. That's not what I'm talking about. There's one country that literally means Aryan. The name of their country is Aryan. It's the Baba Republic of Aryan. Anyone know who that is? Really? No guesses? No guessing as to who is the actual... And I'm only saying this to take away the freaking... letting that have so much hateful power. When people learn the truth, the actual nation with that name is a very peaceful country that has rarely invaded another. Although we like to demonize them. No, Deutschland does not mean that. It means lands of the Germans. Okay? Come on, somebody's got to know this. Somebody's got to know this. Oh, thanks. Russia? No, Russia doesn't literally mean it. Oh, children. Oh, I'm getting you. It's time for that. No, what? No, which country is The actual Aryan nation. It's literally their name. They're literally the Aryan nation. It's Aryan nation. Nation of Aryans. Of Aryans. Iran, very good, fine, China. Iran is Aryan. That's what it translates to, Aryan. It used to be known as Persia, the Kingdom of Persia, and then they changed their name to Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran. No, the Hellenic Republic, that's the name of Greece. That's their official name. The Hellenic Republic. They changed it in 1935? Okay. I mean, it's the same with can I gonna say swastika? I better be able to say swastika. It's a Hindu symbol. It's also a Buddhist symbol. It has to do with, the ever-changing life is a cycle. If you go to India, you will see temples with it. It was bastardized by an a-hole. So if you're ever traveling out there in the world, and someone is wearing, because I've seen them on shirts, it generally does not mean the bad one. Yep, Iran. So yeah, somebody took a very holy symbol, very ancient, and fucked it up. I think that's messed up. But that's not the worst that the motherfucker did. I don't know, did anyone see it? It was a really good movie, I thought. It was about this person that kind of looked like, I'm just going to call him a wolf. It's not a wolf. Just change the W to something else. It was a German movie. It was about this guy that looked like a wolf. And at first, he was kind of embarrassed that he looked like a wolf. But then, people started giving him paid gigs to come and look like a wolf. Thank you. To come and look like a wolf. And slowly but surely, he started to get more and more brazen. And then he started to say the rhetoric of what the wolf would say. And that was the scary part. People started getting all riled up and agreeing with it. This was back during the financial meltdown. It hit the world, Germany wasn't immune from it. And it was scary how it showed, how there's still hate in a lot of places, alive and well. Just, there's no one there bringing it out, which is, thank God.
Hey, my phone's dead. I can't call him. You charge it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you plug this over for me? Is there one plug sticking out anywhere?
There's a box. I just need a cord though.
Does that one have a?
No, there's no cord on it.
Here, I'll give it this roll.
You put it in?
Yep.
Or phone? Right?
No. Yep. Wait, is it dead?
I don't know, but I can put it in the box.
Okay. Here.
I'm gonna find a box.
Yeah. So, that was... that movie had some twists I was not expecting.
Oh, the white one had a charger on it.
Well, that's because I just plugged it in.
No, the white one, the one charger I had.
Oh, okay. I see. What makes sense? What happened? What makes sense? I missed it. What happened? What happened, people? I need to find a bronzer. Why is my visibility restricted? Why does this person that is just a nonsensical person keep coming and watching me? What looks really red? What looks really red?
Doesn't she look good?
What looks really red? What is it that looks really red? We can see your shirt. I'm not wearing a shirt.
Paintbrushes? More paintbrushes, my dumbass.
Whoever you years is pretty soon. My nose looks red?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no it doesn't. Where's my bronzer go? There's no bronzer here anymore. Bronzer, where the hell'd you go? Somebody come over here and say, oh, I think I like that bronzer. Just fucking take it? Well, that'll work, but I had an actual liquid bronzer I was using.
I like that color. I like these shiny ones.
Yeah, let me see.
That's a good one, no?
Yeah, it's just, I like the one I just had. I like this pink one I fucking had for like blush. Oh, here it is. There's this one. Okay, where'd my poof go that I just had?
Your poof?
Yeah, I have the things in both hands. Here it is. My brain can't remember things. What wig? Same one as I wore yesterday.
You like your brushes?
Yes, I love them. Sorry that I got all over.
Oh, okay. They're yours.
I know.
Let's try keeping together. You see?
Yes, I need to get everything organized.
Yeah. Takes time though. Lots of time.
Gonna take time, whole lot of time.
Go, come on. Go. Simba. Go. Come here. Simba, come here now. Go. Simba.
Is this bronzer?
No, this is, I got it. It might be, but this is the bronzer I want. You see the thing of just pink? Just, it's a blush, just pink. Like a square thing of just pink. Eyeliner.
Yes. Pink.
Yeah, that's the one, I think. And then eyeliner. Oh, I didn't do my eyes. No, thought I was getting done off the glass. Shit. Do you see it on one of these? Up there, this one's old.
My job? Mm-hmm.
Man, next time I buy a bag of makeup from someone, I need to make sure. Wait.
I can go get you some mascara.
Oh, I got lots of mascara. I made it.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of makeup.
This one?
And I'm pretty sure that somebody's... Yeah, look. I have like hardly any left. Man. The makeup I bought from somebody.
I don't wear makeup. Not me.
It just took all sorts of... Well, they left my frosting. This one will work.
That's kind of dried out too, though.
No, this one's new.
Works good enough.
Yeah, almost better. Thank you. I wish my leg did.
You need anything from the store right now?
No.
I have to go to Bottle Drop. I have to go get these bottles and fucking go turn them in. Now I have so many and stuff. Oh, I know where Body stays, by the way.
Yes, I think I do too. Up the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, upper eyeliner. What's upper eyeliner mean?
On the eyelid?
No, I don't know what's upper eyeliner.
On the upper eyelid, right?
I don't know.
Sparkly, that is good. I still can't believe I thought you were somebody else. Like, I thought you were two different people. That still blows my mind. I'm like, oh my god. Bitch.
What'd you call me?
Not you.
Yeah, I got a lot more used to going without my makeup on. It used to be nobody saw me without my makeup. And when they actually finally saw me, they had no idea who I was. I got my old apartment. I could walk right out, and they had no idea who the fuck I
What's
was.
the without makeup on?
Without. I used to wear a hijab or a burqa. Where's my lipstick, motherfuckers? What in the hell is my lipstick? Damn it. Now I gotta put that on after. Any red lipstick? Oh, I got some plumper, right? Plump it up. Plump it up. Hot. No, I did not find it. Well, I found a place to temporarily live as of right now. Like, long term, no. But that's okay. It's okay. It's just a clear, fresh plumper. Do you see two matching eyelashes anywhere? I think the last two Canada.
There's one on that thing.
Do you want to match it?
Like loose anywhere?
Yeah. What happened to that pink thing you just gave me?
I don't know, you grabbed it from me.
You grab it.
So you need some eyelashes? So you need some eyelashes?
Eyelashes.
Right there's that pink thing.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Alright, well, thank you. And how about a big brush? Blush brush.
This one?
Yeah,
This brush?
that'll work.
I like stuff like this, but not this purpley color. Like clear, you know?
Hello. Why not Hawaii is a part of America? Why not Hawaii is part of America? Hawaii is part of the United States of America. Hawaii is not part of the Americas. Do you understand? Hawaii was its own independent kingdom. It was a monarchy.
You still need eyelashes, right?
Yes. And then in the late 1700s, Captain Cook was cooked. Hawaiians believe that if you defeated your enemy and ate a part of them, not you eat the whole thing, you absorb their essence. Different from Papua New Guinea, where they also, I think, believe they ate them for the protein. But not in Hawaii. Hawaii had over 1.4 million people, about the same population it has today, with no modern stuff, no modern infrastructure. And that's quite a feat to sustain 1.4 million people on that island with nothing modern. Where would you like to travel to? I'd like to go to the moon. I'd like to go to another galaxy. I'd love that. I'd love to go to another inhabited planet and meet like a nice civilization. And then I'd like to be invisible and go see like one of those really mean ass ones. Like, I don't know, they're probably like some bug people or something. They like hate us because they show like over and over propaganda about us like having exterminators that go and like terminate their young and shit like that. Look at them. They commercialized it. They come in there. They just kill us all. They're going to exterminate us. And then they show like raid missiles coming at them. Like, oh no, we must prepare now. We must destroy them before they try and destroy us. This preemptive strike isn't warranted. They are warlike people that have no sympathy for our cause. They will not even share anything with us. Kill them all. There you go. It's good. Yeah. I mean, $1 million.
On your that scan thing.
Yeah.
There's one on it.
Okay. Cool beans.
See it?
No, I'll find it. $1 million just ain't what it used to be. Oh, old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. $1 million ain't what it used to be. Most people that are middle class probably are millionaires by the time they retire if they did it right. Upper middle class, anyways. Really, because that's not a lot of money. It's just not. I made my first $1 million grossed in 2001. If you think about that, that means I made it before September 11th. Because as of September 11th, I made nothing. Zero, and went out of business. I'm back in the military. That's right. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, there's not a whole lot to go to space. Like, we're upper middle class, may not be able to afford that, but there's the wealthy elite. Like, look, I had parents that could afford it. I'd be pounding. I want to go to the moon. You always promised me someday you'd send me to the moon. You always did. You promised me. You said, if you don't shut up, pow, right to the moon. And it's that day. I'm not going to shut up until you send me to the moon, damn it. Oh, thank you, Junior Cat. Oh, thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Okay, I always like asking this question. Do we have any RH negatives watching today? Are there any RH negatives today? I want to know, did anyone feel exceptionally emotional these past 2 days? Like, out of the ordinarily emotional? Like, started crying out of nowhere emotional? I just want to see if it's something localized or if it's something more macro. AB negative, wow, there's a rare one. Although you can get more blood than I can. I do. Wow, how much is that? That's there should only be 13 of y'all, statistically. Big time. I was trying to say it's not like me.
Did it plug it up?
Yeah, I'm like whatever. Just flip. See that button? Push that real quick.
This?
Yeah. We'll let the batteries charge a little bit. Oh.
I was just plugging in your thing I found for.
I've been paying. Yeah, that's from. Oh, I'm sorry. THC positive. Sorry. Has to have Rogaine shot each time I bring it. Yep, you do now. Yeah. Let's see. Well, she's so negative. That means you have the characteristics. You're like a hybrid. You're a carrier, most likely, of the recessive gene. You just have enough to make blood with the RH protein in it that you test positive for it. But you still may have a lot of the markers, you know, being an empath, lower body temperature. Let me see something. Oh yeah, anyone wants? Yeah, keep making. Let me see something. Where's background? Oh, you're not gonna have it. Where's that other phone? Can I see it real quick?
Your phone?
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, where? Oh, right there, right in front of my face. Oh, I can show this to you. Oh, I can play it. This is perfect. This is awesome. Where is it? I shoot about. Is that no? Naturalist. What's this one? Simba Spark? No. Storybook. How about this one? Let's try this one. Yeah, let me just see if I can flip it. I flip this. More. Okay, man.
Guide to the RH negative.
Antibiotic ointment.
Before the first star ignited, there was only the resonance, a sea of consciousness where thought and existence were one. In this pre-universal void, two entities drifted. Aethon, a being of crystalline light, and Nixon, a figure woven from velvet shadows. Physical, they were the architects of potential, existing in a silent world of violet hues and infinite stillness, where time was a concept meant to be whispered. The cataclysm began with a single, dissonant thought, the desire to feel. As Aethon and Nixon touched, the friction of their opposing natures tore the void asunder. This was the first singularity, a violent collision of light and shadow that birthed the material universe. They were pulled through the veil of fire, their celestial essence fracturing into the first strands of a strange, new biological code, a blood that carried no mark of the world it was entering. That ancient, pre-universal cold still lingers in the blood of their descendants. Scientists call it RH negative, but it is a biological legacy of the void. Silas walks through the churned earth of a forgotten conflict, his black cassock heavy with the world's dampness. Yet, his skin remains at a steady, crystalline 96 degrees, a remnant of the era before suns were born. He carries a discarded teddy bear, a soft relic of a life he observes from a distant, icy clarity. Do you feel the high cognition? For the RH negative, the mind is a library housing thoughts that predate the stars. Kaylee sits atop a high stone plinth in a temple older than empires, her presence commanding the silent reverence of hundreds. Her IQ is a frequency she vibrates at, allowing her to process the geometric architecture of the universe that Aethon and Nixon first drafted in the dark. Look at the sun. Does it feel like an intruder? For the descendants of the void,
right there?
the eyes of high-precision
On your
sensors
the leg on your
of a yellow star.
you got the phone.
Alara stands beneath a rose-covered archway, the vibrant pinks of the flowers pulsing with a light
There and
only
on
she
the
perceives.
leg.
Her vision is calibrated for the
that what you meant?
violence of the pre-universe, making the modern world far too
There's
bright
no
and
map.
vivid to be
You
comfortable.
don't? Oh man, that's what they did.
Is the void stain, a profound sensation of being a visitor on your own planet. Nova stands on a landscape of
I'm
purple
gonna go
dust
towards the
between
behind
two
you.
suns set behind a radiant land.
No.
She carries the crushing, hollow homesickness of Nixara, searching the heavens for a sky that matches the original violet silence. In this alien vista, the pink of her jacket finally feels like it matches the
Are you
atmosphere.
gonna be here?
Red hair is more than a pigment. It is a flare sent up by DNA that remembers the fire's creation. It is the copper-toned signal of a different chemical logic. Ruby sits atop a gargantuan strawberry, her hair a crimson match for the fruit's juice.
Can you give me my phone, please?
In a garden of giants, a biological eccentricity that proves her ancestors were forged in a crucible far removed from the common harvest of humanity.
Thank you.
Heightened intuition is the sixth sense of the negative blood, a psychic sensitivity.
Did you charge any of my power
As
banks?
a natural radar,
My blue one?
touches on picture. Iridescent wings twitching.
I just need one of.
That white one's got a charge on it,
Feels
right?
the vibration.
I just need to take one with me.
You need a cord
A
too.
gift from a time when consciousness resided outside
Yeah,
our
that's what I
bodies
charge.
and perceived
No,
all
that's what
things
it
at
costs.
I'll put
once.
this blue one in for
How
you.
much does it say?
27.
That's a
This thing's
40,000.
charged for a long time.
That one looks like bigger than
Sometimes the
that one.
variance feels like a
Thank you.
shadow.
No.
Don't put the lock on my door, like you know, so you don't lose it.
Wait, let me see. How much does that one have a charge on? That white one?
Morgan sits
Yeah,
on
that was
the
about
That
Why
one's
does the
charged
blue
for
one have on it?
nothing.
warns a
I just
physical
put it in there.
Hey,
manifestation of the strength she
Put
refuses
the lock
to
on my
have.
door so you don't lose it.
She is the
You know what I
guardian
mean?
of the original
Yep,
silence, embracing a gothic reality that the world finds
And the
frightening
keys are in
and
that, don't
finds
forget.
familiar.
If you leave, text me and let me know if I know where to find my key.
The checklist of the violet variants is complete.
You don't have to lock right now.
The high
You walk around.
mind, the sensitive eye, and the ancient ache for home. Nova looks out over the alien horizon, finally realizing that her alien heart is exactly where it was meant to be. If you carry this blood, you are the child of Aethelon and Nixara, a traveler from the glory of the void, resting here until the stars remember your name.
That resonate with anybody? Where did I put the glue? Do you see any the glue in there? I just had it. I just had it. That white one. What's that? What's $140?
What's your favorite glue?
You had no idea what they were saying? That's why you could read it, right?
Here.
Why couldn't you hear anything? What happened? Was there a lot of... Could you not hear because there was background noise?
This glue too.
Not this one, just this one. Where's the other epoxy one?
You like black or clear glue? That's glue.
Yeah, it's glue.
You like black or clear?
How glue got stuck in there.
Or you just like glue that works?
No, it's epoxy.
For your eyes? For your eyes?
No, that was
Wait, for tools?
yeah, fixing something.
What were you doing with it?
I was fixing the crack in my the choker. Yeah, but plasma centers, they don't pay any extra for your, depending on what type of blood you have, do they? Yeah, I don't think so.
I
And
might call you in extra to donate or whatever.
what did I just do with those other eyelashes?
Whatever.
And you can't pay people for blood in the United States. Other countries you can, like Vietnam. Vietnam, I got pans. They gave me a pan set. My money, my blood was worth something there. Here's what's called a blood exchange. And when you donate blood, it goes into your account in case you need blood. And different bloods are worth different amounts.
That's
My
crazy.
blood was like 32 to 1. So 1 pint of mine was equal to 32 pints, let's say. O positive.
No, you're okay, buddy.
I was able to help people save money and giving them my blood. It's a lot. Hey, epoxy for your eyes. No, I didn't say for my eyes. Yeah, for my eyes. No. Using these eyelashes I found on the ground. 'Cause that's all I got as of right now. These eyelashes I found on the ground. Oh, shitty po-pos. I forgot to put eyebrows on. How do y'all not notice that shit? I need the thingamajigger, you know that thingy? Where is that thing? You see it up there? Where did it go? I found it. Do you see that round powder thingy for my eyebrows. You know, it's like I found it too.
Yes.
Well, I found it. Found it. It's right over yonder. So, what did y'all think of my book? You guys like story time? Would you guys like to tell me what you'd like to know? We can do. I got a book now that has pictures about Art's Negative, and
Well, that's all you do.
what for my eyebrows? Oh hell yeah! I don't have to trim them. I don't have to tame them. I don't have to do any of that shit.
I don't know why that thing was so big.
I just go ding ding ding, do 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 do. All done. Hey. I know I cheat. I do. I admit it. I don't go through all that hard work. Is O healthier? It's not a healthier or not healthier thing. It's a different. It's like saying, are cats more healthier than dogs? Well, I mean, yeah, of course cats are. That wasn't a good example.
Dogs are. Cats are gross.
Cats don't go eating their own shit, do they?
Hey, what?
They don't go eating their own shit and licking other
Yeah, they
Do they?
clean themselves up, don't they?
either themselves.
I don't know.
Let's wow, they start like at least Albertsons here is like $24, I think. Okay, so we can do one. We'll do one more book either about my past, a book about something at random, or a book about Art's Negative. What would y'all like?
Art's Negative.
Art's Negative. My past. I'll vote for that.
Be a long look for the past.
Well, Queenie, why don't you go bye then if you don't care?
Yeah, for
This is
real.
a place
How
for
about
people
bye?
that. This is a place for people that care. They care. Oh, my past has it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Okay.
What I do, you're just gonna keep my going?
Is that okay? Do you want to take mine? No, she can I borrow them. Can I borrow the two of them? Okay, I'll be here. I'll be here waiting for you.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
I just didn't know. Yeah, I'll be back.
It'll be here in good safekeeping. I appreciate it. She let me borrow her phone. She's got an iPhone. Blood stuff. If there's something you really want, I can email it to you. I wanted to show you something. Some images. That's the void. What do you think of that? Okay. Let me do that. This is just real quick. I want to show you a picture of something. These were the people that are the descendants. Real quick. One is matter, antimatter, basically. I think, and that's when they came together. Kaboom. What do you think of that sky? Did anyone ever dream and see a purple sky? I do. It got confused. I got real confused with the pictures they put in. That's kind of cute. It got real confused. What's wrong? Mommy left. Mommy left, and puppy's not happy. Oh, I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye to the world, touching it. You gotta say squatting like it's a bad thing. Homeowners are happy. Yeah, poor pup. Poor pup has it. So you don't, guess what? Puppies that get beat and have like a bad home, they don't cry for their mommy, do they? They're like happy their mommy's gone. So that just goes to show you how nice a mommy that puppy has. Some of you don't have kids, do you? Do your kids just go right to bed and be all happy like, all right, mommy, night, night? No, it's story, one more story. I don't want to go to bed. I'm not tired. I don't need to go to bed. I don't need to listen to you. Well, I'm just going to lay there and I'm not going to sleep because I'm not tired.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, Seaball. Acceptable. Sorry. I'm sorry I'm so defensive. I helped take care of the puppy. Okay. 1996. How about the year 1996? So. I know a quick one I should put on for you. Did some of you, did you already see this one? I don't think very many people saw this one. I don't know.
Erasure. The statement of Patricia J. Furman. At 35 years old, Patricia J. Furman stands as a woman of service.
I'm 45.
A veteran whose life is built upon the foundations of discipline and duty. Her identity is not a preference, but a documented reality, affirmed by the state of Oregon. Yet, the air in Portland has grown cold, not from the winter, but from the shifting winds of federal policy that threaten to undo the very person she has fought to become. The Portland VA Medical Center, once a place of healing and promise, has become a labyrinth of administrative barriers. Following the recent change in executive orders, Patricia found herself caught in a systemic glitch. While her state ID correctly identifies her as Patricia, a female, the federal records have reverted, anchoring her to a name and a ghost from her past, Patrick. The discrepancy is more than a clerical error. It is a fracture in her existence. When she presents her Oregon state ID, the federal system flags it as a mismatch. Two pieces of plastic, both issued by the government, now tell two conflicting stories. One represents her truth. The other represents a mandate that refuses to see her. At the administrative desk, a clerk named Mr. Sterling looks at the screen and then back at Patricia. He shakes his head, his hands tied by the new directives. The system won't allow the override, he says. To the federal government, Patricia does not exist. To them, she is a fraudulent actor attempting to claim the benefits of a man named Patrick. The consequences are immediate and physical. At the pharmacy, Nurse Miller informs her that her hormone therapy, medication essential to her well-being, has been suspended. Because her gender marker in the federal database no longer matches her clinical profile, the system has halted the authorization. The medical care she earned through her service has been revoked by a keystroke. The erasure spreads like a contagion into her financial life. Banks, alerted by the federal mismatch, flag her accounts for suspicious activity. Denials for basic services arrive in the mail. Every transaction becomes a battleground where she must defend her right to her own name, facing accusations of identity theft for simply being herself. Safety, once a guarantee for a veteran, begins to dissolve. The loss of VA support impacts her housing eligibility. Safe housing programs designed to protect those who served rely on federal verification. Without a consistent identity, Patricia finds herself on the precipice of displacement, her security traded for a rigid adherence to a revised code. The statement of harm is not merely a document. It is the lived experience of a woman being edited out of her own life. Patricia sits in the quiet of her room, the weight of the silence reflecting the weight of the bureaucracy. She is a veteran of a different kind of war now, a war of recognition against an invisible, indifferent enemy. She meets with Ms. Alara, an advocate who listens to the mounting list of grievances. Financial ruin, medical neglect, and the looming threat of homelessness are all written into the record. They are trying to make you invisible, Ms. Alara notes. Patricia remains steadfast. She has survived the military. She intends to survive the peace. Patricia J. Furman stands by the window, looking out over the Portland skyline. The lights of the city flicker like the data points that have tried to define her. Her identity is not a variable to be toggled by an executive order. She is here, she is a veteran, and she will not be erased.
That's the quick, short version of some of the bullshit I've gone through with banking, loans, cards, the VA. No, I'll go to an actual past one, like past. No, that's not it. Didn't you watch The Armor We Wear? Did I put that one on for you? The weapon welder? Oh, what's that? There's a bunch. The Squeegee Kid of 96. Okay. This one, I was at the end, it has to be enlisting in Montreal. That's not true. That didn't happen. I enlisted in New York. Who remembers 96? This was 96 for me. Are we gonna load up or what? No, we're not gonna load up, huh? No, we're gonna load up. Okay. What page? Maybe I need to find it somewhere else. How's the squeegee? Why is the squeegee kid not? Oh, the squeegee heart. Describe your no. Quiz, infographic. Can I open here? Go to files. Files? Internal. Oh, I know where it should be. It should be in my Google Drive. I can't see what people are writing. What's this? I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Notebooks. Here it is. EPUB locations. The Voluntary War. Quebec Maple Syrup Highest Research. No, the Morning Star. Let's see this one. Let's see if this opens up. where to play books. Google Play Books, yeah. I want to see how this looks in Google Upload. No, I'm not in that point where I'm even able to start looking. Please make another copy of The Squeegee Kid. Why is it gone? Squeegee Kid. Oh. 96. That's it. Yo, just make sure you have some baby wipes. For what? Some baby wipes for what? Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow. Why did you shit yourself? Introduce your gift gallery. Viewers is what? Man, all TikTok wants me to do, it keeps giving me all these things to like. You think I beg for? I dry beg? TikTok's a definite beggar. It keeps saying, remind your audience of your gift gallery. Ask such and such to give to you. Like that's all it does is tell me that. They get mad. I ignore them.
Is there any in here?
Who? No, she's not.
I gotta go into the room and fill this up. Some water.
Says who?
Or do you have water?
But who sent you up for it?
What's it, a ski?
Okay, yeah. Just open it up and you know where the water is?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, after eating Mexican. Oh no. Belly, I'm sorry. Sorry. Let's see if this is the same book. Okay, this is really, this looks like me and everything. For the most part. If you knew how effeminate I looked back in the day, my girlfriend in high school, the sister who later became my first wife, and then who became my first wife, they were jelly of my body. What the freak? Why did you open it like this? Oh, no, I don't want desktop. Okay, here we go. No, stay right here. Okay.
Squeegee Kid of 96. In 1996, Poughkeepsie was a cage made of heavy wool and incense. Patrick sat in the back of the St. Jude's Chapel, the collar of his
It
Catholic.
is actually Our Lady of Lourdes.
Choking the truth out of his throat, he stared at the crucifix, not seeking penance, but seeking a way out. The girl inside him was screaming to be born, while the boy on the outside was suffocating under the weight of expectations and a name that felt like a lie. He didn't wait for graduation. He simply vanished
Okay,
into the hum
this one
of
is not the
Greyhound
version
bus.
I wrote, but it
By the
did.
time the bus crossed the border into Montreal, the Blazer was in a trash can in Albany. Patricia emerged in the neon glow of the Barry QAM station,
There you go.
her hair bleached to a pale straw and her body wrapped in a thrifted leather jacket.
That's my jacket.
16, penniless, and finally, for the first time in her life, she was herself. The city was a powder keg, vibrating with the tension of the independence referendum. We and non-posters,
Real no.
wallpaper of the streets. Patricia found her tribe under the concrete overpasses of the Ville Marie. She met Bastien, a veteran of the asphalt who carried a squeegee like a scepter. He looked at her, not as a boy, but as the girl she was, and handed her a plastic bucket filled with gray water. The life of a squeegee kid was a dance with the gridlock. Patricia worked the corners of Saint Laurent, darting between idling cars to scrub the summer grit from windshields for a few tossed loonies. The air was thick with exhaust and the chants of political rallies. She was free, but freedom was hungry, and the pavement was a cruel host that offered no soft place to land. As the sun dipped below the jagged skyline, the work changed. The coins from the windshields weren't enough to keep the hunger at bay or the cold out of her bones. Bastien showed her the hidden alcoves where they could hide from the police, sharing a single cigarette as they watched the city burn with the fire of 1,000 neon signs. They were the ghosts of the referendum, ignored by a public obsessed with borders and blood. The hunger wasn't just in her stomach, it was in her soul. To numb the sharp edges of the street, Patricia began to follow them into the haze. The medicine they found in the back rooms of the village made the concrete feel like velvet, and the insults of passers-by sound like music. In the shimmering light of a needle, the desperation of being a runaway girl in a city that didn't want her faded into a blissful, dangerous silence. When the money for the medicine ran out, Patricia found herself standing on the corners where the squeegees were put away. She learned to recognize the slow crawl of a car looking for someone like her. A man named Marcel pulled his sedan to the curb, his eyes scanning her feminine frame with a cold, transactional hunger. She got in because the alternative was the winter that was already beginning to whisper in the wind. Marcel's kindness had a price that left Patricia feeling more hollow than the hunger ever had. In the cramped back seat of his car, she traded pieces of her spirit for a handful of crumpled bills. She realized then that being herself came with a cost the nuns in Poughkeepsie could never have imagined. She was Patricia, yes, but she was a Patricia who was breaking, one transaction at a time. By October, the city was at a breaking point. The referendum was days away, and the air felt like it might shatter. Patricia stood in front of a cracked mirror in a public restroom, scrubbing the grime from her face. She looked at her reflection. The blonde hair matted, the blue eyes haunted, the body thin from more than just missed meals. She was a survivor, but she was tired of the war. On the night of the vote,
It's my friend's
as
phone.
Montreal held its breath, Patricia stood on the steps of the Place des Arts. The non had won by a hair, and the city erupted in a mixture of fury and relief. Rain began to fall, washing the squeegee kid grit toward the gutters. Patricia turned her face to the sky, letting the cold water sting her skin. She didn't know where she was going, only that she was still here, still her, and the morning was coming.
Alright, that one's... What did it do? Edit it out? That must have been a PG-13 version. That's a PG-13. That's not the initial one that I wrote. It did some heavy editing for you guys. I don't know why it did that. Oh. Hello. How about the armor we wear? The weapon welder? What's that? Alright, I never read this one. Alright. What was this? No, that one is too much. Volunteer war. The shape of survival. I'm trying to get to the unedited ones. But for some reason it's not letting me show you them. Write another version. Okay. Let's see what else. Sorry about this. Okay, everyone. How are you? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? So, I've got a little bit of a treat for you. That one was a version that, I guess we're gonna see what the difference is between the PG-16 version and the, adult reader. Am I going somewhere? Yeah, I'm going somewhere. Of course I'm going somewhere. How about you? What are you doing? Well, it's not so much about the destination as it is about the journey. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? there, Kimberly. How you doing? Cumbrellas, that's what they call them. Cumbrellas. You like my cumbrellas? '96 is one of those years. We all have different years in our life that like were extremely momentous. A lot of shit happened. '96 is that year for me. I'm not saying it affected me good or bad. It's just one that really affected me. And without that year, my life would look very different today. Or who knows, it would look the same. Tell you about it? Oh, I'm about to put it on for you. Come on. This looks the same, but it shouldn't be.
The Squeegee Kid of '96, Path to the Marines. Our Lady of Lourdes was a prison of plaid and prayer. In the halls of the Poughkeepsie School, Patricia hid her eyeliner beneath the heavy bangs of a boy named Patrick. The whispers followed her like a cold draft, cruel jokes from classmates, and the stern, disappointed gaze of the faculty. She was a secret waiting to be told. A girl trapped in a sanctuary that felt more like a cell. Reporting the harassment was her biggest mistake. When she tried to speak up, her neighbors, led by a man named Vance, didn't see a
That part's not
justice.
true.
They saw a threat to their narrow.
This just is
One night, the shadows moved. Vance and his friends cornered her.
ties it all together.
Into muffled cries. The beating was brutal. A symptom
He didn't look like that at all.
that left her broken on the asphalt of her
And
own
we were,
driveway.
used to be really good
With
friends.
a bruised face and a suitcase full of stolen hope, she fled.
This is true.
The Greyhound carried her across the border.
It wasn't the Greyhound, it was an
The
Amtrak.
sweltering summer of
It
1996.
was Amtrak.
The city was a fever dream of we and non-banners, vibrating with the energy of the independence referendum. She shed Patrick like a dead skin, bleaching her hair and donning a studded leather jacket.
That's true.
Patricia was finally home, even if she was homeless. Life on the streets was a grind of survival and squeegees.
Yes.
She met Murray under the overpass,
True.
a fellow runaway with eyes like a winter sky. They became a team, darting between cars at intersections to scrub
This part is
windshields
so
for loose
true.
loonies. Mireille didn't care about Patricia's past or her birth certificate. She loved the girl standing in front of her. In the chaos of the referendum, they were their own sovereign nation. The hunger of the stomach was nothing compared to the hunger of the mind. To escape the biting reality of the pavement, Patricia and Mireille fell into the chemical haze that haunted the village. The world became a kaleidoscope of blurred lights and numb limbs. They held onto each other as the needles whispered promises of peace, unaware that the city was slowly swallowing them whole. When the loonies weren't enough to pay for the medicine, survival took a darker turn. Patricia learned to stand on the corners where the traffic moved slow and the eyes were hungry. One night, a man in an expensive sedan beckoned her over. It was a transaction of flesh and desperation, a cold exchange that left her feeling like a ghost in her own skin, trading her dignity for another night of warmth. Amidst the grime, there were moments of pure, unadulterated light. In their squat, surrounded by graffiti and the distant hum of political protests, Mireille would hold Patricia close. They dreamed of a life beyond the squeegee and the needle. For a few fleeting hours, the referendum didn't matter, the hunger didn't matter, and the world was just two girls surviving against the odds. Tragedy wore a familiar face. A client, fueled by rage and looking for the girl who had cheated him the night before, mistook Mireille for Patricia in the dim alleyway. The violence was swift and final. Patricia returned to find her world shattered on the cold concrete. Mireille was gone, a victim of a mistake meant for her. The referendum had failed, the city was weeping, and Patricia was hollow. The grief was a weight she couldn't carry through the streets of Montreal. Patricia crossed the border back into New York, the punk jacket discarded for a heavy coat. She stood before a USMC recruiting office.
Obviously, it was a lot more complicated than this to enlist.
Strength and order. She realized that to survive the world that had killed Mireille, she had to become a weapon. She stepped inside, reclaiming the name Patrick as a suit of armor. The transformation was absolute. In the heat of Paris Island, the girl was buried beneath layers of cement, and the old drab of the Marine Corps. Patrick stood at attention, his hair shorn to the scalp, his eyes fixed on a horizon that no longer included the streets of Montreal. He was a survivor, a soldier, and a secret, carrying the memory of Mireille in the one place they couldn't reach, his heart.
Now, people say, oh, so you knew you were trans. No, I still didn't. This is what further complicates things. Mireille was also male at birth. So, what really confused me was I gay? I hated guys, but I didn't see her as a guy. Then each page of that could be its own book. It really could. These are just, I'm doing like actual writing where, you know, there's no pictures. And I'm able to take synopsises from what I've already written and it'll put it into like a 10-page picture book. So you can, it super abbreviates a lot of things. Wow. I try, I don't know if I do this to try and, I don't know why. I try and tell myself, well, remember there's people in your life that you absolutely loved with all your heart. And then one day, this happened or that happened, and you didn't. So maybe when I miss certain people as much as I do, I just remember, well, probably by right now, if it had not happened, I'd be hating them. So I'm lucky that I get to have a memory of someone I still love and care about. It was never, yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Anyone else from Canada remember 96? Anyone in America remember October, I believe it was October 30th? I don't remember exactly. Does anyone remember that night? No Canadians? Hey, Peru. No one? No one at all? Hey, Scotland. North of Hoggart's Wall. You should have kept that wall to keep those damn wankers from coming north. Fucking horrible year for me, I know that. Yeah, it was. Well, if you follow Rudolph's... Hang on. If you follow Rudolf Steiner and his view of ripples in time, different years can have a much longer ethereal impact on us than other years. I don't know how to explain it. Well, no, what I was saying was, I'm glad her name is untarnished in my mind. Like, it's still the purest form of love. There was nothing that was, you know, that initial, I don't know. Remember when you were young and you thought you found true love? Like actual true love? Or maybe I didn't think that till afterwards. The brain is a funny thing. It changes what it tells me a lot. I can't trust my memories all the time. My memories change. Not completely like changing the overall memory, but changing it still nonetheless. I remember in the very beginning when I met him, her, him, them. It's hard. There were no words for it. If any of you are familiar with Montreal, you know that on one side, Rue Saint-Denis and St. Catherine Street, that is the queer section. The most awesome section there is in Montreal. Rue Saint-Denis and St. Catherine. No, I didn't get a place. So, get a Band-Aid and stuff. Thank you for saying I look amazing. Ouchie, ouchie, ouch, ouch. Okay. No, I didn't get a place yet. Let's see what other. You guys want to see? This is just fiction. Oh shit, someone just walked back into my work with a forklift and scared the shit out of me. Okay. The last precinct. This is based. Like I said, these snippets are based on much larger works that I'm doing, whether it's a graphic novel or. Tell me what you think of this. Is like the intro to the book, the graphic novel.
The last precinct of Montevilla. The global backlash was a guillotine for the economy. OPEC, sensing the terminal weakness of the petrodollar, issued a chilling ultimatum. Oil would henceforth be traded only for physical gold. Overnight, the American dollar became little more than kindling. While Russia capitalized on the chaos, rolling tanks across the borders of former Soviet territories with Thorne's silent blessing, the American heartland began to starve. In the cities, the sound of digital wealth evaporating was replaced by the heavy clinking of scales in back alleys. The fracture became a chasm. California, Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii formed the Western Pact, refusing to recognize Thorne's third term. Texas and Alaska, citing the federal collapse, declared total secession. To the east, a wall of silence fell, while the Midwest a patchwork of loyalist checkpoints. Thorne, desperate to break the spirit of the resistance, set his sights on Portland. a city that had become a bastion of dissent, he declared it a seditionist zone and ordered a total blockade, demanding unconditional surrender or total erasure. The Portland VA Medical Center, once a place of healing, had been transformed into a jagged fortress of necessity. Trish, a former combat medic who had seen the worst of the Afghan planes,
I'm not a medic.
now found herself triaging a dying republic. The hospital's sterile white halls were stained with the gray dust of the blockade.
Okay.
Here, the Alliance was born. Veterans
in the book, I'm not a medic either.
Joined forces with weary National Guard units who had swapped their federal patches for the green and blue of the Cascadia flag. Elias looked at Trish, his eyes reflecting the exhaustion of a man who had fought too many wars for too many different reasons. "They're moving on Montevilla," he rasped, pointing to a grease-stained map. "If they take the heights, they can shell the whole east side." The resistance was a ragtag mosaic of the desperate. Police officers who refused Thorne's orders stood shoulder to shoulder with local neighborhood watches, unified only by the common goal of keeping the iron wall of loyalist troops from breaching their streets. Trish was assigned to the defense of the SE 8th and Stark Corridor, a vital artery for the Resistance's supply lines. The base of operations was a shuttered bar called Starkey's Scandals. Its neon sign, a relic of a more vibrant era, now flickered with a rhythmic, dying buzz. Inside, the smell of stale beer mixed with the sharp scent of gun oil. It was here that Trish met the final, most volatile piece of their alliance. The local gangs who had traded their turf wars for a chance to defend their home. Vane, the leader of the Montevilla Street Syndicate, didn't trust the uniforms, and the sentiment was mutual. But the gold-backed oil shipments were at stake, and the Loyalists' new order promised nothing but chains for people like him. "We know every alley and every crawl space from here to Mount Tabor," Vane told Trish, his voice low and dangerous. "If Thorne's boys want this block, they'll have to pay for it in liters." Trish watched him sharpen a jagged blade, realizing that the survival of Portland rested on the shoulders of the outcasts. The news from the transmission wires grew more dire by the hour. The East Coast had finally broken its silence, but only to report that Thorne's Loyalist fleet had begun a naval blockade of the Atlantic ports. The economy had moved beyond collapse into a state of primitive barter. Trish sat in the flickering light of the radio room at Starkey's, listening to the static of a world tearing itself apart. The Loyalist forces were less than 2 miles away, their heavy artillery already beginning to cough in the distance. The assault on Montevilla began at dawn. The air was thick with the smell of ozone and wet pavement. Thorne's troops, equipped with the last of the nation's functional high-tech gear, met a wall of fire at SE 8th and Stark. Trish moved through the chaos, her medic's bag heavy on her hip. She saw Elias and Vane holding the line at a barricade made of flipped city buses. The Alliance held, not through superior firepower, but through an intimate knowledge of the ground they were defending. Every window was a nest, every basement was a trap. As the sun set over the jagged skyline of a wounded Portland, the Loyalist advanced. The streets of Montevilla remained in the hands of the Resistance, a small, defiant island in a sea of tyranny. Trish stood at the intersection, looking at the broken neon of Starkey's and the distant silhouette of the VA hospital. The victory was microscopic, and the war was just beginning. But for the first time since the 2028 election, the people felt the weight of their own agency. The dollar was dead, the law was broken, but the city was still theirs.
Now, it changes bits and pieces on what I've actually written to abbreviate it so much. That's not even the one. That's not the one I saw. The Rose City Siege. Maybe this is the one. This is it. Because there's a lot more. Okay, yeah. This is the one. This is the one. This is the re-edited one that I redid. I re-edited my writings a lot, and you can see how much it changed the synapses. These are synapses of a much larger writing. This one's a graphic novel I've been doing. And again, remember, this is, for every page here, maybe that's like 20 pages? No, 10 pages? Yeah, that's right, maybe 10 pages. There we go. There I am, yeah. I didn't want to be I didn't want to be a medic.
The Rose City Siege.
There we go.
The year 2028 arrived not with a celebration, but with a shuttering of doors. After a contested election and a refusal to cede the White House, the incumbent declared a national emergency. The Supreme Court was suspended by executive order, and the transition of power became a permanent installation. High above the fractured nation, the old rules were shredded as loyalist states bypassed the popular will, cementing a presidency that the coastal borders refused to recognize. The global order fractured overnight. In a move that crippled the American heartland, OPEC nations began demanding gold for oil, abandoning the petrodollar. The U.S. currency, once the bedrock of the world, became worthless paper. Sensing weakness, Russia surged across its borders, reclaiming former Soviet territories and violating NATO sovereignty with the silent approval of a White House that cared only for its own survival. Resistance took root in the West. California, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington formed a pact of non-recognition, while Texas and Alaska seized the moment to secede entirely. In response, the federal government declared Portland a symbol of treason. They surrounded the city, cutting off the power, the food, and the hope, leaving the citizens to rot behind a wall of steel and fire. In the heart of the Montevilla district, Trish prepared for the end. A combat veteran who had seen the worst of the world long before the country fell, she moved through her makeshift armory with practiced precision. She was a towering presence in the cramped basement, her height nearly reaching the low-hanging pipes. To her, the costume of war was not just camouflage. It was an identity they couldn't take away. Trish turned her back to the cracked mirror to check the straps of her gear. It marked her skin, a defiant pinup of a North Korean female soldier, a relic of her time overseas, and a reminder of the complex world she had survived. She pulled on her bright red wig, the twin pigtails a splash of defiant color against the gray concrete walls. In Portland, she wasn't just a soldier. She was the commander of the neighborhood's last stand. The alliance in Montevilla was a desperate one. Trish met with Rainier, a former National Guard officer who had deserted the federal ranks to protect his home. They stood over a map of the district, plotting the placement of snipers and IEDs. Between them stood a bridge built of shared necessity, linking the police, veterans, and even local gang members who had found a common enemy in the forces outside the gates. Outside the perimeter, Commander Vance looked through his thermal scope at the darkened houses of Montevilla. To him, the people inside were not citizens, but obstacles to a unified order. He gave the order for the first wave of drones to launch, their mechanical hum a death knell for the city. He didn't care for the history of the streets or the lives within. He only cared for the gold he was promised for their subjugation. The siege began with a roar. Trish rushed to the barricade at 82nd Avenue, joined by Otis, a local gang leader who had traded his street rivalries for a rifle. They crouched behind an overturned bus, the air thick with the smell of ozone and burning rubber. The federal forces moved in like a tide, their black uniforms blending into the shadows. But Trish's red pigtails remained a beacon for the resistance. Behind the front lines, Rainier worked frantically to keep the communication lines open. He moved through a crowded medical tent where a volunteer doctor was treating a wounded soldier. The sounds of explosions rattled the canvas walls, but the resistance held. They were outgunned and outspent, but they were fighting for the very ground they stood on, and that was a currency the federal forces didn't understand. As the sun began to rise over the smoking ruins of the Montevilla district, Trish stood atop the wreckage of a federal drone. Her military Lolita ribbons were torn, and her boots were caked in soot, but her gaze remained fixed on the horizon. The siege had only just begun, and the petrodollar was dead, but the Rose City was still breathing. She raised her weapon, a silhouette of defiance against the dawning light.
So they won't actually put in like the more like the battles and stuff like that. That you have to actually get the actual book for. I love you though, but stop your whining. Mommy will be back later. I'll come in a little bit. Okay. The Red Queen of Monteville? No, that's a different one. The Ghost Fleet of Columbia. That's a good one. So like that would have been like the first chapter in the book. But there's a lot of like everybody succeeding and all that stuff. There is the second part. See, is that the one I want? Or the Cleaver Gambit? I want Cleaver. Yeah, this one. Is this me again? Yeah. And it ties in a lot of asymmetrical warfare. No, it's not my daughter. But I help with it. And instead of like the traditional like bloody, violent battles, there's ones where there is no bloodshed. But then there is ones where there are. I like this one there.
The Cleaver Gambit. The immediate objective was the liberation of First Sergeant Revenge. A hero of the Iraq War, Revenge had been detained by federal forces for shielding the city's remaining transport assets from seizure. Trish's team moved with surgical precision, ambushing the federal convoy as it wound through the industrial corridors near the river.
What?
In the chaos of smoke and flashbangs, Trish herself wrenched open the heavy doors of the transport vehicle. She reached out a hand to Revenge, whose short-cropped hair was matted with sweat, but whose eyes remained as sharp and unforgiving as broken glass. Safe in a darkened
And she's a real person.
south of the city, Revenge shook off the fatigue of captivity. She didn't ask for a weapon, she asked for a map. She detailed the internal logistics of the Cleaver Armory, a fortress at 10,000 Northeast 33rd Doctor that held the heavy munitions the Resistance so desperately needed. They're dug in deep, Revenge rasped, tracing the perimeter with a scarred finger. A direct assault would be a massacre. We don't have the bodies to throw at those walls. Trish nodded, her mind already pivoting. Then we won't give them a fight, Trish replied. We'll give them a nightmare. Trish summoned Cypher, the Resistance's premier electronic warfare specialist. Together, they huddled over a bank of salvaged radio equipment, their faces bathed in the ghostly green glow of signal monitors. Trish didn't want to jam the federal frequencies. She wanted to inhabit them. She began to feed a narrative into the ether, a complex web of intercepted orders and panic from non-existent loyalist units. They crafted a digital ghost of a coalition, a phantom force rising to reclaim the Pacific Northwest. Revenge watched Trish work, marveling at the veteran's audacity. Trish was orchestrating a symphony of deceit, coordinating the movements of a fake Hawaiian Navy and a fictional division of loyalist state guards moving in from the east. If they believe they're being surrounded by a superior conventional force, Trish explained to Revenge, their training will tell them to regroup rather than stand and die for a lost cause. We aren't fighting their soldiers, we're fighting their protocol. Inside the Cleaver Armory, Colonel Vane felt the walls closing in. The radio was a cacophony of terrifying reports. A carrier
Yeah, what you can do is you can take anything you write, feed it in there, and it will make a synopsis.
Federal outposts going
There's a lot of other things you can do.
Vane, a man of rigid rules and little imagination, paced the command center. He looked through his high-powered binoculars at the tree line, convinced the logical seeds Trish had planted were blooming into a forest of paranoia. The final blow came when Trish's team used high-output speakers to mimic the low-frequency rumble of approaching heavy tanks. Combined with the falsified digital chatter, Vane broke. He wouldn't be the man who allowed his battalion to be annihilated by a superior naval invasion. He grabbed his sidearm and began shouting the order that Trish had anticipated. Evacuate! Fall back to the secondary rally point at the airport. Move out now. From the shadows of a nearby warehouse, Trish watched the exodus. The heavy gates of the Cleaver Armory swung wide as a stream of armored vehicles and transport trucks roared out, heading north in a panicked, disorganized retreat. They left behind a cloud of exhaust and the very assets they were supposed to guard. Trish checked her watch, a small, satisfied smile touching her lips. The Hawaiian Navy was still 1,000 miles away, and the Loyalist Army didn't exist, but the victory was very real. Trish and Revenge walked through the abandoned gates of the armory, their footsteps echoing in the silence of the massive courtyard. Not a single shot had been fired. The armory was a treasure trove of equipment, rifles, ammunition, and medical supplies left behind in the Federals' haste to escape a phantom enemy. Revenge ran a hand over a crate of supplies, looking at Trish with newfound respect. Outthink, not outgun, Revenge murmured. Trish simply nodded, her red pigtails bobbing as she surveyed their new prize. News of the humiliating retreat reached the capital within hours. In the gilded halls of the White House, the president was said to have flown into a blind rage, smashing a crystal decanter against a portrait of the founders. But in Portland, the message was clear. The Rose City was not a victim. It was a fortress of the mind. Trish stood in the center of the armory's command deck, looking at the city she had just saved, knowing that while the war was far from over, the tide had finally, irrevocably turned.
So yeah, with Storybook, you can leave, if you want a completely random thing, it'll just do something random. But you can go all the way up to taking everything you've written, putting it in, and it'll do a 10-page synopsis of what you've written, which I think is pretty cool. So you can see basically what each chapter is going to look like in just 10 pages on here. I use it to I'll do an outline. I do a lot of things. I don't have anything finished though, because I keep starting new things. Do you like it? Yeah, the actual, what's it called? Graphic novel is... Parts of it are really good. I don't know, some parts of it might be too much for other people. Like this one. This one. Okay, now remember, the president, completely fictional, of course. He did not like being made an idiot, and he just got made to look pretty stupid. He looked really. This is the last one. He looked really dumb.
Rose City Siege, the Red Requiem.
Shut up.
The air in the Rose City felt heavy, thick with the scent of ozone and the metallic tang of blood. After the daring victory at the Cleaver Armory, Trish and First Sergeant Revenge stood atop a makeshift barricade, surveying their exhausted but hopeful militia. The captured munitions were being distributed, and for a fleeting moment, it felt as though the tide had turned against the occupation. But Trish, her tall frame draped in a tattered military Lolita coat, felt a chill that had nothing to do with the Oregon wind. Revenge, ever the pragmatist, checked her sidearm with a grim efficiency, her eyes scanning the dark horizon where the lights of the federal camps flickered like predatory eyes. Miles away, the order for decimation was delivered. The president, humiliated by the loss of the armory, demanded a display of absolute force. He ordered the Greater Montana units, the backbone of the regional occupation, to level the city with heavy artillery. However, at the firing line, Colonel Silas looked at his coordinates and saw the homes of his cousins and the schools of his former classmates. He lowered his binoculars and shook his head. "We will not fire on our own blood," he told the federal liaison, Corvus. The refusal was quiet, but it was an act of mutiny that the president had already anticipated. Corvus did not argue. He simply stepped back and signaled to the shadows behind him. A specialized unit of federal loyalists, men with no ties to the Northwest, their identities scrubbed and their empathy cauterized, stepped forward to relieve the Montana soldiers of their posts. Corvus watched with a cold, detached satisfaction as the loyalist gunners began the cold calculations of ballistic trajectory. The Steel Vultures, as they were known, did not care for shared heritage. They cared only for the rhythm of the reload and the roar of the discharge. The first shell hit the West Hills, a thunderous crack that shattered the pre-dawn silence. Trish was thrown from her feet as the shockwave rattled the windows of the command post. She scrambled to the balcony, her long red wig matted with dust, and watched as a second explosion bloomed like a necrotic flower near the riverfront. It wasn't a tactical strike. It was a saturation bombardment. The federal government wasn't trying to retake Portland. They were trying to erase it. Trish felt the crushing weight of every life she had led into this fight, now caught in a storm of fire. In the streets below, Sergeant Revenge was already in the thick of the chaos. The Iraq veteran knew the sound of incoming fire too well, the terrifying whistle followed by the world-ending thud. She sprinted through a curtain of gray ash, her voice hoarse as she screamed orders to civilians to find cover in the sub-basements. A shell struck a nearby residential tower, and Revenge watched in horror as the concrete facade cascaded down like a waterfall of stone. She was a warrior of the desert, but this urban carnage was a different kind of hell. Trish found herself in the middle of a collapsing field hospital. The screams were a discordant symphony that drowned out the distant booms. She reached down to help a young medic who had been pinned under a fallen rafter, her lace-trimmed sleeves stained with soot and grime. As she pulled the man free, another explosion rocked the building, sending a shower of glass and plaster over them. Trish shielded the wounded man with her own body, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. The elegance of her resistance was being buried under the raw, ugly reality of total war. Revenge reached the hillside overlooking the Portland VA Medical Center, a place she had once gone for healing. Now, it was a charred skeleton. The Loyalist artillery had targeted the infrastructure of care, turning a sanctuary into a tomb. Revenge stood amidst the burning husks of cars, her hands shaking not from fear, but from a cold, incandescent rage. She looked down at the familiar signs of Starkeys and Scandals, the heart of the community she fought for, now flickering in the reflected glow of the inferno. Everything she loved was being systematically dismantled. The two leaders finally collided in the ruins of a downtown plaza. Trish and Revenge grabbed each other's arms, a desperate anchor in a world that was literally falling apart. "They're not stopping," Trish shouted over the roar of a nearby gas main fire. "They'll level every block before the sun comes up." Revenge looked at her, the lines on her face etched with a decade of combat. "Then we move the survivors into the tunnels," Revenge replied, her voice cracking. "We lose the city today, Trish. We lose it all." They shared a look of profound, tragic understanding. The victory at the armory had come at a price they could never have imagined. The bombardment showed no mercy for the innocent. In a collapsed storefront, a mother huddled over her child, trying to sing a lullaby that was lost to the staccato rhythm of the shells. The oil-painted sky was no longer blue. It was a permanent, suffocating bruised red. The federal loyalists continued their work with mechanical precision, turning the City of Roses into a city of ash and iron. The resistance was broken, scattered into the dark corners of the ruins. Their grand strategy incinerated by the fury of a president who would rather rule a graveyard than lose a city. As the first light of day struggled to pierce the thick pall of smoke, Trish stood alone on the burnside. The red wig was gone, revealing her closely cropped natural hair, and her military Lolita finery was a shredded rag. She looked out over the smoldering remains.
I don't know how to answer this. I can't answer it. You stupid phone. How the fuck do I answer you?
The silence now more
Goddamn fucking piece of shit phone.
The Rose City.
Oh, goddamn, I fucking hate you, phone. Fucking stupid fucking phone. Hey, my phone has no button to push to answer it. And, sorry.
She clenched a piece of jagged shrapnel in her hand. Trish knew the federal loyalists had made a mistake. They had destroyed the city, but they had given the survivors a reason to never, ever stop fighting.
So, yeah. I don't know if any of you were seeing that image where there was the mom and baby huddled in the, in their apartment under the, the more sturdy part of the building. Remember, that is what we did to the citizens of Baghdad. Shock and awe was not just military targets, it was civilian targets. Civilian in their electricity, their water treatment plants. We took away electricity and water treatment from a city where it's 117 degrees in the shade and stopped their toilets from working. Just think about that. With no air conditioning. That's fucked. War is horrible. War is terrible. And rarely in the movies do they show the toll on the civilians. Rarely do they show what happens after a military victory. With any military victory that humiliates a dictator or a ruler that doesn't like it, there's some pretty horrible shit that happens to the people. I am writing a book. That is a synopsis of what I'm writing. That's the super that's the super abbreviated version. Let me get my. In fact, I've written a couple books. Oh my god. All this time you couldn't hear anything I was saying? Oh my god, I can't say it all again. Fuck you, stupid phone. Punch you in the face, phone. Okay, we're gonna skip really fast. I was trying to say that if you're not a good writer, but you like writing with storybook, you can just put in a whole bunch of things that you want your book to be about. You can put it all together. Give you 10 pages with illustrations, and what I do is I ask AI, what are your favorite illustration forms? What are your favorite writing forms? It gives you, and you just have them write like 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, and then it gives you all these different ones. And then I pick different things I want to do, give it all the information, and then it takes from what I wrote it and instructed it. It can do a book like that, and then from there, I use that as my outline. This is a story I wrote for all those that don't want their daughters to be daughters of Eve. I don't want mine to be daughters of Eve. So if you want an empowering book, you can write them. You can write them yourself too. It's really, really fun. This is the one I wrote for Storybook on Gemini. This is what I used to empower little girls. Yeah, storyteller, storybook on Gemini. Because I was just writing them free, like all without any help, and then when I got Gemini, oh my gosh, it helped me so much. Here we go. I have a longer version of this that is the full version of what I wrote, but this is the AI version. The first garden.
First garden. In the beginning, when the world was new and painted in colors you've only dreamed of, the first woman was born. Her name was Lilith. She was not made from anyone's rib or as an afterthought. She was shaped from the same rich, dark earth as the first man, Adam. Her spirit was as bright as the morning star, and her laughter sounded like wind chimes. Adam, the first man, believed the garden was his to rule, and that Lilith was his to command. "You shall lie beneath me," he said, for he saw her as less than him. But Lilith looked him in the eye, her spirit unbending. "We are made from the same earth," she replied. "We are equals. I will not be beneath you." Night after night, Adam insisted. Night after night, Lilith refused. She would not let her light be dimmed or her will be broken. Finally, knowing she could not be free and equal in the garden, she made a choice. With a rush of wind, she grew magnificent wings and flew away, leaving the garden and its rules far behind. She flew to the mountains near the Red Sea, a place of wild, untamed beauty. There, she found freedom. She danced with the wind and spoke to the stars. She met celestial beings who saw her not as something to be owned, but as a wonder to be cherished. With them, she knew true partnership and love. Soon, Lilith became a mother. She gave birth to beautiful children, daughters of starlight and mountain air. Their names were Astra and Lyra. They were fierce and free, with their mother's unbending spirit. Lilith loved them more than all the stars in the sky. But back in the garden, a great anger grew, because Lilith had chosen her own path. Angels were sent, not to love, but to command. "Return to Adam," they ordered, "or we will bring sorrow to your children." Lilith's heart filled with a mother's fury. "You will not touch them," she roared, her voice echoing through the mountains. She would not bow. She would not break. She fought with the strength of a storm to protect her daughters, showing them that a mother's love is the most powerful force in the universe. While Lilith fought for her freedom and her family, a new woman was made in the garden. Her name was Eve. She was not born of the earth, but taken from Adam's rib, designed to be his helper, and to obey his will. She was taught that her purpose was to serve. Many stories were told to hide the truth. They called Lilith a demon because they feared her strength. They feared a woman who knew her own worth, who would not be controlled, and who would fight for her children. They wanted everyone to be a daughter of Eve, quiet and obedient. But you, my daughters, you are daughters of Lilith. You are born of love, not obedience. You have the fire of the first star and the strength of the ancient mountains within you. Never let anyone tell you to be small. Never forget that you are equal, you are powerful, and you are free.
What do you think of that one? You like my book? Did you like it a little bit? What'd you think? You like it? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. If anyone wants it, you can send you it, and then feel free to make edits to it, change it in Storybook, and add your own touches to it. I loved it too. I love that version. There's other versions I made too, but that one's my favorite. That one, just either you can text me at 971-520-4135, or write me at what's a good one? Teho Trish 2. Yeah, Teho Trish 2, and I'll send it to you. It runs right on your web browser. Hi. Like it? Yep. 971. That's like the area code of the Portland area for cell phones. Then it's 520. It's 520. Then 41 and 35. That's 41 and 35. Oh. This is one, I don't know what you're gonna think of it. This is for there's all sorts of niche things out there that I don't know how to put it, where I don't know. I'll just show it to you, and you can say what you want about it. It's about sparkle dust problems. Do you have? And no, this is not really about Simba's the dog. This is not actually Simba in the book, but how do I get to it? It wouldn't be as interesting. It wouldn't be as interesting to write about the cat that this actually does this. So I thought it was more interesting doing it with the doggy. It's called Simba, the sweet and silly pup. No, it's not that one. Knees and paws. Simba. No, that's not it. Or is it? Yeah, it is. It's called Simba and the Sparkle Dust Detox. It kind of puts it into a very simple way to understand certain things, and keeping it age appropriate.
Simba and the Sparkle Dust Detox. Simba the puppy lived in a place called the Rainbow Den. It wasn't tidy, but it was cozy, and the worn-out carpet was his favorite thing. Why? Because the carpet always dusted itself with the most magical, shimmering, rose gold sparkles. Whenever Simba felt a little dull, he just had a quick sniff. The sparkly dust smelled like sugary clouds and melted rainbows. He'd rub his nose right into the carpet, chasing the shimmering bits, until the world started to hum. Soon, the walls of the rainbow den turned into marshmallow fluff, dripping down in
Thank you,
streams of
Elizabeth.
bubblegum pink and electric
Thank you.
cyan. He'd float past them, seeing cartoon ghosts wave tiny flags reading, "You are here." One afternoon, things went too fast. The sweet colors turned sour like neon bile, and the marshmallow walls began closing in. Kawaii hell. Suddenly, a hand grabbed him, and a bright pink spray misted his face. It was Juno, his friend.
With the help of
giving him the
Storybook, yes.
Anti-sparkle spritz.
Yes, I did.
Simba shuddered, coming back down to the cozy mess of the den. Juno hugged him tight. "You're okay, little sparkle nugget," she whispered. But Simba knew this wasn't just a fun game anymore. The crash was getting harder every time. The next morning, Simba woke up needing his fix. His paws twitched, and his tummy ached for the sugary scent. He scrambled to the carpet. But where were the sprinkles? The carpet was spotless, vacuumed clean, smelling only of lavender disinfectant. Sparkling withdrawal hit him like a kawaii anvil. Simba started to shake, his whole body rattling like a tin of rainbow candies. He hid under the sofa, whimpering as Juno watched him with wet eyes. He was truly
I
sick.
don't know.
Juno knew she couldn't fix this with just hugs and anti-sparkle spritz. She wiped her tears and pulled Simba out, wrapping him in his favorite cloud-patterned blanket. "We're going to get help, sweet boy," she promised. "We're going to the Happy Paw Recovery Center." The Happy Paw Recovery Center wasn't scary at all. It looked like a marshmallow castle, painted soft yellow and mint green. Nurses wore rainbow uniforms, and the intake room was filled with plushies. It was puppy detox, kawaii style. A sweet-faced nurse named Anya led them inside. Simba was scared, but he knew this clean, bright place was where the melting walls finally stopped. He had a long road ahead, but for the first time in a long time, Simba didn't need the sparkles to shine. To be continued.
What did you think of that? You like it? Okay.
Simba's Sparkle Dust Detox, the Rehab Edition. Simba stood before the gates of the Glitter Glow Healing Grove. It looked less like a clinic and more like a giant multicolored marshmallow. The sun was too bright, the pink walls were too pink, and the air smelled like artificial strawberries. After years in the gray, crumbling trap house, the vibrant kawaii aesthetic felt like a loud scream to his tired eyes. He dragged his paws forward, carrying the heavy weight of his sparkle dust addiction into the neon light. Inside, the deceptive cheerfulness only made Simba feel worse. His tolerance for the sparkles was legendary, and now that the supply had stopped, the world began to tilt. His skin felt like it was buzzing with angry bees, and his tiny heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. The colorful plush rugs under his paws felt like sandpaper. The detox had begun, and it was going to be a long, candy-coated nightmare. By the second day, Simba was desperate. The The withdrawal was a monster made of static and shadows. He began to pace the pastel hallways, his nose twitching. He didn't want toys or organic treats. He wanted the stinging, sweet oblivion of the dust. He looked into every corner, hoping the cleaning crew had missed a tiny crystal, a single grain of his heaven. He wasn't the only one struggling. Simba found a tiny blue-furred kitten named Mochi shivering in the Zen zone. Simba approached him, whispering with a dry, cracked voice. "Do you have any? Just a lick? I'll give you my favorite squeaky bone." Mochi only whimpered and shook his head. There were no sparkles here, only the cold, bright reality of getting clean. Late that night, Simba tried to break out. He clawed at the bright yellow door of his suite, his paws aching. He imagined the old trap house carpet, the matted fibers, and the chemical scent that felt like home. He didn't care about the colorful rehab. He just wanted to run back to the dark, back to the dust, back to the things that were killing him. In a moment of chemical madness, Simba tried to make his own sparkles. He found a glittery wall hanging shaped like a smiling cloud and began to rub his face against it violently. He hoped the craft glitter would provide the same rush, the same escape. But the glitter was just plastic and glue. It didn't stop the shaking, and it didn't fill the hollow ache in his soul. That's when Pippa arrived. She was a nurse, with hair the color of cotton candy and makeup that looked like a sunset. Her clothes were a whirlwind of vibrant kawaii patterns, but her eyes held a deep, quiet understanding. She didn't scold Simba for the glitter on his face. Instead, she knelt on the soft floor and wrapped him in a weighted, pastel-striped blanket. "The sparkles were a lie, Simba," she whispered. "Let's find the truth instead." Pippa sat with Simba in the medical wing, which was filled with soft music and glowing lava lamps. She explained the path forward. "We have to stabilize your brain, little one. We can try a daily dose of methadone, or we can look at buprenorphine." She showed him the options represented in a way he could understand. Choices for a new life. Simba looked at the medicine, realizing this was the fork in the road he had been avoiding for years. Simba chose the monthly Subutex shot. He didn't want to think about sparkles every day. He wanted to be free. As Pippa administered the long-acting buprenorphine, Simba felt a strange, steady calm wash over him. It wasn't the high of the dust, but something better. The feeling of his own feet finally touching the ground. For the first time, the bright colors of the rehab didn't feel like a lie. Weeks later, the gates of the grove opened again. A character named Juno was waiting there, dressed in a sharp black jacket with a red tie and pigtails that matched her fierce spirit. She looked at the clean, clear-eyed puppy and smiled. "Ready to see what the world looks like without the dust, Simba?" Simba wagged his tail, stepping out of the kawaii clinic and into a future that was finally his own to write.
Not done.
I
Oh, are you busy?
can just mute it. Okay, let me just find them.
Try to hurry.
Okay, that's all I have to do is find my shoes.
Okay.
I just have no idea where the freaking fuck they could be. What did I do with my damn shoes? Oh, I hate this parrot. Where the fuck are my shoes? Where the fuck? Do you see them downstairs? Fuck. Hey. I'm going for a ride, I'm going for a ride. Let's go for a ride with me. Let's go for a ride with me. Let's go for a ride with me. Now, only thing that goes above it for pain is migraines and giving birth. Fuck. Oh my god. That pain level, this has not happened to me in a very long time. The pain level reached so high it knocked me unconscious. No, don't. I'm allergic to it. Just you, I'm allergic to it. Oh my god. God damn it. Oh, I have like no. Huh. That is the van, right? Fucking. Oh my god, I can't even walk. It's horrible. Huh. I need to go get battery charger. Fuck. Maybe I'm tripping. What do you mean? You're tripping on what? What are you tripping on? Holy shit. Every fucking. Oh god, I'm gonna hurt this much. They're gonna have to chop off that toe. Oh, I hope they chop my toe off soon. What? My eyelash came off? Oh. Why are you tripping? What's going on? Are you okay? Are the rooms melting? You don't want... Yeah, I do want them to chop my little toe off. If you knew how many days I'm in excruciating pain because of it, I 100% want it chopped off. And it won't mess with my balance. That's not true. If your toe is the way my toe is, it needs to come off. Maybe the doctors. Okay, put the glue on this thing. Okay, let me figure it out. Let me get this. Okay, put this in. Okay. What is that? Not on? There we go. There we go. Ouch. Get the other thing, put that in. Whew, fucking my leg. Oh my god, it's so painful. So painful. So fucking painful. So fucking painful. Get this charging. Okay. Oh god. Let the pain go away. Let the pain end. Save me. Save me. Save me. Oh Lord, save me from this horrible pain. I got my charger back. Okay. I always want to believe people. Ah, fuck. That hurt. There's this charger. Okay. See this charger? It's a 65 watt Anchor laptop charger. Okay. They're really super good, and there was like a misprint something with Amazon, and they're supposed to be like $119, but if you bought two of them, it came to $65. So listen, it's $119 for one, two for $65. Obviously that was a mess up. So I got two of them, and they sold out of them in like, I don't know, 3 days. And they didn't offer them again. I got both of mine stolen. I found it yesterday, someone had it. And at first they're like, oh, everyone says it says. I pull out the receipt. I show them like everything on it, and I show them how much it is. I'm like, who out here bought one for $119? Who has one? Who can buy one of these for $119? Who even has Amazon? And let alone would then put it in a bag of bottles, because that's what I was told. I don't know. It could happen. It could happen. I wanted to believe them. It's so hard to believe that. Some things tell me they stole it, or someone stole it. I just don't know who is the actual person to have stolen it. Because they were about to get a world of pain. And I couldn't do it. I hate when people tell me to do things. It's like I want to be treated like a woman. But then when a woman tells me to go fuck up another woman, I can't. I'm not going to do it. It pisses them off. It shouldn't. It's interesting because like out here, like sometimes I forget, like, oh, this is a violent gang banger. This is and they'll be like, someone that's like a real badass on the street, and and then like the person will correct me, like, hey, that's Trish. She goes by she, her, they, them. And you know, I'll be honest, 10 years ago they'd be calling me an F-fake, you know what. So but then there's this Vietnamese speed geek that won't even acknowledge I exist. Like, really? Okay, there we go. I'm going to Safeway. Do you want to come to Safeway? I can't walk much more. Oh god, this is so bad. Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna write something. Wait. I can right here. Okay. Let's sit down the ground. Okay. Force it now. I'm waiting at the dam. Is everything okay? Okay, let's see. Let's go back over here. How did you break your toe? With extreme force, I kicked. I was like walking really fast and it slammed right into a scooter. Just cracking my 2 toes in the upper part of my foot. It's fucked big time. Oh my god. If somebody had like morphine, I would take it. I just would. It's bad. Yeah. Now usually it stops working. I can feel the pinky toe is completely, it's not connected to anything. It's just like wiggly flesh. It's gross. It's turning like black. Oh, let's see if I can get it. Shoot, come on, go. Cameron. Stupid things.
Sure, here is the image.
You fucked up again. You suck. Ow, 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 ow. Let me take it back, everybody. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna turn you off now. I'm going to quit doing both. Oh, fuck, my tongue is so fucked. Fuck. Oh, God. I'll be back later.